The biggest accomplishment, I think, is just simply being there. It just seemed when we started to get the clinic going, there was so much bureaucracy. There was so much government regulation. We were going to go. We were not going to go. We were going to get the laser in there. We were not going to get the laser in there. And I think all of these barriers have been sequentially overcome due to the tenacity of Drs. Min, Tanya Tran, and Thuy Pham.
Is really to care for the children. That's the number one reason why we were established.
Đề nghị phối hợp với Việt Nam để cái thận đập trong tâm mạch máu thì chúng tôi rất là hoan nghênh và cái điều đó đã được thực hiện vào năm 2009.
So the three of us talked, and that's really how it started, with 3 people who are passionate and who wants to make a difference.
It's not with one hand, it's with a group of people pulling the effort and putting their heart and soul into making something and making a difference.
There's pediatrics, there's radiology, there's pathology, and a local group there of physicians who really care. They donate their time and make this thing work. I'm very happy to see the VAC standing on its own 2 feet more and more. And if you can do a good job when they're young, you change their whole course. You go in there, you see these kids, your heart goes out to them. I mean, we were all children, and in many ways we still are. So, you know, you go over there and you get motivated. So I think it's not just the docs and the nurses and the parents and the local physicians. It's also the people that in the future will come up with new solutions to tomorrow's medical problems. And I think in Vietnam, it's possible to make those connections.
We were able to convince the Cancer Hospital of Ho Chi Minh City to abolish the use of radioactive phosphorus.
Even more impressive has been now the adoption of propranolol. We now have that medical adjuvant, which was banned initially when we first were going there.
VAC itself is starting to do clinical studies that are meaningful and to publish papers and so forth. So all this kind of activity builds on itself.
The success of our clinic has propelled us in the past year or so to expand our treatment modalities from laser to interventional radiology.
This is technically an X-ray machine, and we will use contrast to make the lesion visible under this machine. Yeah, with these facilities, I think this is enough for us to treat most vascular anomaly patients with sclerotherapy or embolization.
My other role, in addition to keeping the patients safe, is to supervise anesthesiologists, but also try to train them so that eventually they can take care of these patients more independent of us coming over here.
This collaboration will help Dr. Tuan and his team continue to treat these patients and help them in the years to come.
The parents are very appreciative, and I have parents who come to me and said, without your clinic providing free medical care, my child would have lost an eye because he has a hemangioma over his eye. So I think that providing free medical care is critical, very important for our mission.
I'd like to see other opportunities in Vietnam for more Vietnamese people, and I'd like to see other opportunities around the world in addition to Vietnam, where other children in other underserved countries will have an opportunity to have access to this technology as well.
The success of the VAC, which is still growing and has lots of needs, but I think it has reached this kind of tipping point. There needs to be more than one of these. You know, you can't just have one.
We always love more support, in any ways, all from little to small. We need to continue to grow by expanding our services.
If you want to make friends, just take care of somebody's children. All the rest sort of drops away, politics, religion, etc., because kids are the future everywhere.